All right, let's get rid of the ocean sound. Sorry, Jeff, I'm ruining your calming moment. Get rid of that.
I, for one, am hyped for the hang out and get to know each other episode. Just chill.
Is it going to take place at a beach?
I'm sure nothing bad will happen at all. Just all.
By the way, why don't you ask Corgo if it's going to take place at a beach? But he's
Corgo,
not
is it
here
gonna
yet.
take place at a beach?
He's not here yet. In our Saturday game, he had a whole quote unquote day of fun for the party where we went to the beach.
Oh no! Anime beach episodes always precede tragedy.
Oh, it did. It did.
Oh, it did.
Mm-hmm. It did. It's like clockwork.
That's like meeting your mom and finding out they have the anime dead mom hair and going, "Oh no, mom, quick, get a haircut! They're gonna kill you off."
It's like, what are you talking about?
She died getting her hair cut. The barber slipped and.
What's anime?
Killer. Just stay away from it. Your sanity, keep it.
I know. I guarantee you, if any of the adults of our age just came about and watched like any single one anime out there that's available to watch, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, there's very little good stuff anymore. It's all like just, you know.
I heard the finale for Attack on Titan was insane.
It is.
Yeah, I read the manga, but I haven't seen the new episode yet. Excited.
Was it the same as the manga?
I don't actually know if they changed anything or not.
I think I read that they tried to stay as close to the manga as possible. I think they changed a couple things.
Okay.
But for the most part, it remained true.
Interesting, okay. My fiance was speculating that people were going to be pissed that the ending doesn't, tie everything up with a happy ending with a bow.
Well,
I was like, why would anyone expect that watching this show? This show is fucking tragic. Why would it end happy?
The entire show is one scene of tragedy to the next.
Yeah.
People getting their arms bitten off and eaten whole, and
no spoilers, but I expected so many people to die by the end of this, so many more.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well,
we're talking about Attack on Titan.
Corgo, I was just telling them about our fun beach day party get together in Fragments.
Which one?
The beach day that we had.
There's been a couple, two. Are you talking about the one where the shadow cultist appeared?
No, the one where Jazug threw me up into the air.
That was the same night. That was later that night.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, you know, you were having fun, and then shadow culty things happen.
Yeah, see, I was right.
Yeah, you think I could let you have fun without repercussions?
Well, that's what they were just saying, is you can't have a beach day without it preceding some horrible event.
Yeah. I made a joke that beach days in anime always precede tragedy, and then we got onto a conversation about anime tropes.
So yes.
Also, during this very brief, can you guys hear this if I press this button?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
You can play that game.
Though I will say no spamming, please. So every once in a while is cool, but yeah.
Hey, is him?
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna bonk me? Are you bonking me right now? I can't hear you.
No.
Oh God! It's that. Okay, let's not do that. No.
Oh, what is that image?
Don't worry about it.
It's like a.
How did you set it up so that there are images associated with the sound effects on Discord?
If you have Nitro, it's a function you can turn on.
Oh, I did
Especially
pay for Nitro recently.
Especially, you have to set a picture for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you took the recording of that puffball, cute, two-eyed little fucking freaky animal in Horton Hears a Who, and you just took that little sound she makes and just toned it down.
Come here.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to set an emoji for the soundboard that you want it to be attached to. That's why I have a private server I make these on, so that's why I have custom images.
Gotcha.
Just like how I have custom emojis and stickers and stuff that I could do. Where's a example one?
All right, is everyone here?
Yep. All good.
All good.
Everyone's here. Very good.
What the cat doing?
Being
All
a
right,
pain in the
so
ass.
quick disclaimer: anyone watching this stream, be advised that there will be some mature themes used. Maybe not in this episode, but definitely in subsequent ones going forward. So if you get captivated by the story, just know that it's going to contain some stuff that you might not like.
Oh
But
wait,
we'll
we're
see.
live.
Yeah, we're live, of course. Penis.
Oh, I was doing that live on stream. Hey,
Oh.
that's my thing. If anyone's getting us demonetized, it's me.
All right, let's start with something of a narrative. The foundations of your life in Lysandras, however short or long it might have been, has been ominously shaken, and reason has begun to leave the city of Lysandras, with many citizens fearfully and angrily crowding the gates leading into the high spire, demanding answers to their many desperate questions. It seems the chaos and discomfort that the first eclipse brought to the realm long ago has been ushered in once more by the emergence of a second eclipse. The Festival of the Sun, a day that was supposed to be one of merriment and joy, has swiftly turned into an event mired by death, shadow, and misery. The deaths of innocent civilians weigh heavily on the wardens and the city guard, whose sole purpose was to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. As the shadowed sky darkens in the city of Lysandrelis, the great high spire stands tall, its peak adorned with the ever-glowing radiant shard of the luminolith. The city's atmosphere is one of both dangerous uncertainty and awe. For the first time in generations, the second eclipse is unfolding, casting an eerie shadow over the city streets. Shadows that loom large. But within the public chambers of the Luminara Council, the shadows are stayed. The numerous shards of the luminolith are a testament to the power of the light against the dark, and the delicate dance between the two. And with the Luminara Council's eyes locked with yours, it feels as though destiny itself is unfolding before you. You're standing amidst the audience of the Luminara Council, and the High Illuminarch, Seraphal, stares at you. He's just relinquished a pretty significant piece of information. Who wants to recap what happened last session for any viewers we might have that has led up to this point?
I didn't take any notes.
Oh, there's a slew of notes on the Legend Keeper, by the way. Thank you for that, Carnivorous.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll take a shot at recapping. I'm struggling to remember sort of like the most recent stuff.
That's okay.
But I suppose fill in where I miss.
Yep.
So last episode began with the wardens cleaning up the attacking shadows and escorting away civilians, and sort of chaos breaking out in the city after the second eclipse began. As the fighting sort of subsided, as the luminolith shard was revealed and sort of removed the majority of shadows from the city, Finn initially indicated he wanted to go check on his parents, and the group sort of agreed to try to group back up. Actually, before that, the High Warden Hardcastle approached the group and thanked them for attempting to protect the city and complimented them on doing a good job, and offered that they could become wardens and use that position to help protect the city. Zigbist, Embrin, and Sylvan were all initially sort of resistant to this, and the idea of taking on obligations associated with joining the Wardens and whether it would be possible to leave. Drunk and Tranquility were more optimistic about joining, but the group sort of agreed to stay together and go to the High Spire to follow up on Hardcastle's offer. And Finn tried to check in on his parents, only to find them both dead in their bed. His father had left him a note in a peculiar dialect of Elvish that Finn wasn't able to read, and the group made initial efforts to try to translate, but we're only able to get bits and pieces. Something about
Revolution.
revolution, and light prevailing only through revolution. The wardens brought the group up to the High Council, and the group briefly spoke with the High Council, and sorry, I'm just scrolling through the notes.
That's fine. I can fill in the rest.
Yeah.
They told you a little bit about. Well, actually, rather, they told you that the Lord Warden, Alarian Hardcastle, had sung high praises of you all and your prowess in battle. Had recommended you for being on the fast track to becoming wardens. And as sort of a preliminary, I guess you could call it like a trial mission in order to become a warden. Lady Astralin offered that maybe you can prove your worth by going out and finding a Luminilith shard that has been elusive. After that, you all had a peculiar interaction with High Illuminarch Seraphal. As soon as you guys locked eyes with him, it was as if you had been ripped out of your own reality into another, and you were bearing witness to several events. One, you know to be the shattering of the Luminolith, because some of you were around during that time. You also know that it seems to have been from the perspective of someone who was there. You saw a dark forest enveloped in shadow, with figures moving through the trunks and the branches and the forest itself, just kind of following you, and a dark figure was beckoning you further into the shadow itself. And then after that, a light pierces through the darkness. It was very vivid, and it was very succinct. Didn't take long for all this to unfold. And when you snapped yourselves out of the vision, you were still standing in the council chambers, and it seemed as if nothing had skipped a beat. And then you made mention to the council of this young girl, Sky, seeing a dark figure in the shadows before the attack happened. And then High Illuminarch Seraphal seemed to imply that it was something called the Harbinger. And he told you that the Harbinger apparently emerged during the first eclipse to usher in the darkness. He says that you'll have to keep an eye out and be aware at all times. And then that's basically where the conversation kind of ended, and he said, This has been a lot, or rather, they said that it's been a lot of information to offload onto you at once. So they said that you should rest for the night, go to the Golden Oak Inn, everything's paid for, all expenses paid, and then you will receive your coordinates, your direction in the morning.
Okay, I think we have a couple things that the characters wanted to do.
Correct. Yep.
Zygvis wanted to try to use his magic to decipher the primordial/Elven language scroll, and Tranquility wanted to go and check on her family through the use of the Dockside Couriers.
Right. Let's handle that now then. So apparently you're currently standing in front of the Illuminara Council. So they're patiently waiting some kind of response, and then to break the silence, Rurik, the gnome artificer, master artificer, he's sitting in the furthest chair to the right. He stands up on his chair and he says, "Well, if I may recommend, in addition to not only your pay and the mission at hand, I'm hoping you could probably stop by a friend of mine's place. They might be able to outfit you for just in case you find yourselves in a patch of Shadowloom that you didn't quite expect."
We would be honored.
Well, good. Here. And he gets off the chair and he actually walks over to you all, which is very unusual. It doesn't seem like the etiquette that a council member should embrace. But nonetheless, he hands you a slip of paper. He says, "Just go see her. She'll help you out."
Okay, Tranquility accepts it and puts it away gratefully.
Okay. And Lady Astralin looks at you all. She says, "Well, okay, then it seems our current business is concluded. We do have other, as you can see from outside at the gates, we have angry citizens that need questions answered and problems addressed. So, we bid you to have a good evening, and do stay safe. It is no longer as safe as it was out there."
Okay, Tranquility will... I'm sorry, did we agree on bowing or curtsying?
I told you that it probably would fall on deaf ears, you doing anything like that, because it's
Okay.
just so out of the norm. It's
Okay.
really something that's only reserved for royalty, and these people are not royalty, at least not in the legal sense.
Okay. Tranquility will try to remember what she was told about treating them with exactly the respect that they wanted. And she will gratefully give thanks on behalf of the party and then scoot everybody out before they can embarrass her further.
All right.
Not that they've done anything since the last time, but still, yes, the previous time is fresh in her mind.
As soon as you, sorry, excuse me. As soon as you start to leave,
Don't die.
you hear you hear the booming voice that is Alarian Hardcastle calling from under you. He says, "Wait, I will escort you. Come, let's go."
Thank you, and Tranquility will accept the escort on behalf of the party.
I side eye Mr. Hardcastle this is going to be interesting.
Can I?
So go ahead.
Can I roll insight to try to get a read on him?
You may.
I'm just gonna button for now. Ooh, 22. Well, yeah.
Okay. It seems that it does. That it is coming from a protective standpoint, and that he's interested in the longevity of the party, survivability. So, I mean, he's been Lord Warden for a while, but also he's been a warden for a very long time, and he knows the duties of not only being a soldier but also being a protector. So, he's going to lead you all outside. He's got his scepter with his luminous shard out in front of him. As he brings you down and out through the main gates, you're once again upon that stone bridge that connects the main city to the High Spire. and just more people have shown up. A lot more people. It actually kind of looks like it's getting to the point where the wardens and the city guard who are there, they're just not going to be enough if things get really out of hand.
While we're walking, can Drunk approach Hardcastle, or maybe just sort of like walk alongside him and say, Warden, why us? Why this group?
Beats me. Other than the fact that I deem you capable of fighting the Shadow back, it's not really my decision to give you wardenship. It's something the Luminar Council is responsible for. But as to the why, for them, I can only guess.
For them, you mean the council?
Yes. They seem to be quite receptive to the idea of you quickly becoming wardens. It's very odd. I've never seen it happen before, not in all my years.
I think it's because Embrit is so good looking.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's because they think
Drunk is
something's
nodding
coming.
vigorously.
What was that, Sylvan?
It's because they think something's coming.
Well, that's a less
Hold
fun
on,
answer.
I like the other point. I like the other point more. Go back to that one.
Aurelian just laughs. He goes, well, at least you're keeping a good humor about it.
Drunk leans in and he's like already chuckling to himself, and he goes, because Emberin is hot. Yeah, hot. Funny. Get it?
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, everyone.
Drunk.
So as you all pass by the crowd of people that have gathered, the lane that you used to get across the bridge and past the people is much narrower now. In fact, the capacity of the bridge itself is starting to become a problem. But Ilarion just simply has a couple of wardens in front of him. He just snaps his fingers, motions for them to go in front of him, and they do. They just start pushing people to the side. And he leads you through. You guys are getting some serious looks. Some really, like, who the fuck are you, and why were you just in there and we are not?
I just kind of wave at them.
Like one person, I was like,
Yep.
What?
Sorry. I heard a lot of robotics there.
is there like? Yeah, I'm running up of a hotspot right now
Mm.
because AT&T's cutting my Wi-Fi in and out.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
there's someone like a more disgusted look than the rest at us.
Roll me. What's your passive perception?
An entire 10.
Oh, roll me perception.
10. You're just gonna go with 10.
There's just a sea of faces that are it's just one after the other. It's a blur. They're all starting to look the same after a while as you're moving more and more quickly through your small lane that you have to the other end of the bridge. There's at the other end there's a pretty good grouping of city guards and wardens that are kind of monitoring the situation as well as trying to maintain a little bit of peace away from that area, because there's not everybody is on the bridge. There's just a lot of angry and fearful people, but away from the bridge, more towards the city limits, there are still people going about their day. It's almost as if their day hasn't skipped a beat in some ways, but that's only because it's the only thing they know what to do.
And Bryn's just gonna walk, keeping his hands in his pockets, rolls his cigarette to the other side of his mouth, just says to, like, I guess whoever the nearest is probably drunk, close to the bridge, looking around. I think they love us.
Don't
Yeah.
think so.
That's the impression I'm getting too. They
Alarian,
absolutely love us.
Alarian looks over to you all as you're still continuing to walk through, and he's leading you away from the high spire, back through the obsidian quarters, and out of that large wall, and into Bright Market. And he says, as he does so, he says, I don't know about you, but I suspect something different. Something has stirred within them. Could be
Stirred
fear.
within-
Well, can you blame him?
Could be fear, could be instinct kicking in, could be loss. Their light is gone. It could be remembrance of a time long past, being reawakened before their very eyes. It's all lost into destiny. And as you move your way through the crowds, people are kind of staring up at the sky, watching as the eclipse unfolds. And though the shadows have been stayed for now, everyone's looking around their shoulder and down dark alleys, moving quickly past them, not really breaking step at all for anything anymore. Not even stopping by their usual spots, their usual reflection points. Normalcy is out the window.
Say, Mr. Castle, Hardcastle. Has there ever been a prophecy or some story, nightmare you tell the little kids that these people know of? Maybe that's why they fear so much.
No. Sorry. I didn't have much in the way of family. I can't tell you
you
one
too.
legend from the next. Yeah, we share that in common, do we?
Street rat since about the age of 8 to 10, something like that.
Well, no, I am sorry. I wish there was more I could tell you.
Then it just seems everyone's in a mass hysteria, or panic, or whatever damn word you want to use.
It's superstition, if it was my guess. The
I
city
mean,
is rooted in such things.
basically everyone's nightmares just came to pass again. It's not surprising everyone's a bit scared.
And the jealous, because here we are, we just got to waltz right on into the biggest, most protected place in this entire city.
Last
Yeah.
eclipse was near world-ending event. Could be the same this time. Sensible for everyone to be concerned. Without sun, plants die. Without plants, animals. Without animals, everything else.
Alarian looks at you. He says, "Yes, it is precisely what happened the last time. Our world very nearly ended. What's to say it won't come to pass?" And you actually see him stare down at the ground at this point, and he just firmly plants the bottom of his scepter into the ground. You can hear it kind of echo across the open area you're in right now as he slams it down, and it creates this sort of pang, a metallic pang across the walls of the buildings. He's
All the-
angry, and he's also upset. So go ahead.
All the more reason for us to get this shard quickly. Where would we start looking? Is that clear for us?
I personally don't know, my lady. I'm sorry. My duties are here in the city, not outside. But what I can tell you is it probably will be a ways away.
The council will contact us in the morning with more information.
Yes, I believe so.
Should we seek out contact of Artificer for equipment tonight or wait until tomorrow?
I would suggest going to do what you need to do now, before your adventure begins.
Yes, we had best requisition what we need before everyone else also goes for the same move.
Good point.
Um,
Desperate people might clamor for weapons, armor, as things get worse.
Tranquility is going to look at the paper, copy down the name, and then say that she will meet them there. She needs to go and check on her family.
Okay, you copy down the name. The name says Aurora Duskweaver. She is the owner of a shop not too far from you, where she deals in magically altered attire.
Mm.
And let's see. Okay, so Ilarion's going to say, I will lead you to the Golden Oak, and then I will depart from there. At that point, you may go about your business. And it's actually just up here. And he leads you up a winding path that goes slightly uphill. You can see that one of the big-ass walls that has a walkway on top of it is looming ahead of you and above you. And situated against this wall at its base, amidst a bunch of trees, is a quaint, cute little, almost cottage-style inn, but it's large. It's pretty big. Out front is a extremely old oak tree, and its leaves have this beautiful golden color to it, sort of like the sun. Surprisingly, Emberin, the tree still seems to radiate a soft light, as though it is still being struck by the beams of Kalia above, even though that's not the case anymore. The leaves have somehow become more radiant, glowing, if you will. This was not the way it was before.
I'm gonna investigate that in a minute.
You all see this, of course, and you're kind of captivated. You're in awe of this living testament to not only age, but mystery and, well, the mystics as well. So Ilarion emerges to the sort of out front of the Golden Oak, and he turns around away from the door, which is a double door, fairly large, oaken, dark oak colored, and he looks back at the tree, and he says, this tree, it's older than I am, actually. I remember it long ago when I first became a warden. The duties were easy, boring, at least at the time. And then the eclipse came. And it just seemed like I lost myself. I remember nights getting drunk here, waking up underneath this tree. Days I don't want to go back to. Of course, these days really aren't much better, are they? Anyways, here's where you'll be staying for tonight. do try and treat Eli and Chrysanthus with the utmost respect. They're personal friends of mine and the council.
Will do.
And he leaves, walks off.
Okay. Tranquility will have time to say, of course, thank you for the escort in fancy pants, upper crust, however she would say it. And then he's gone.
Okay. So, you all... I wouldn't say the music is quite fitting to the current... No. I'm getting rid of it. It's not fitting. I also need to get rid of this. Okay. So, you're luckily able to have a little bit of free time now to go about and do what you want to do.
Shopping episode. Let's go.
So, that is one thing I would like to mention here. Shopping can potentially take longer depending on what it is you're looking for and or if we RP every little bit. So unless it's something majorly important and if it's like an NPC that I want you to meet or that has bearing on the story, you will meet them. But going forward, I sort of decided this in past campaigns that I've run. Anyone who really isn't important to the story will not be introduced as like a real character that will just be like, like that guy on the side of the road that sells you fruit and you just drive away and never see him again.
You hope.
Makes sense.
That being said, what? Let's start with Zigbest.
Yo.
What are you doing? You had something you wanted to do there?
Yeah. Real quick question first, though. How does leveling up happen, like lore-wise? Like, do we take a rest and then magically get like our new stuff? Because when I get a school, I get like a conscious book. So, like, would that just happen, or how does that like occur?
So okay? Well, I'll tell you what. In this case, we're gonna do the whole pass the night sleeping thing, and then you'll level up, and then that's where. Well, you'll see.
Okay. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to read that primordial language, like on that slip of paper, like actually see what it said.
Right. Okay. Roll me. Are you doing this here, like in front of the inn? Are you kind of walking along to the Bright Market and doing it along the way, or what's the deal?
I was under the impression we were going to like sit down at the inn, and then when everyone was chilling, I was going to cast comprehend languages as a ritual, and then just like start reading it.
Okay. Well, how about this? Do you want to go inside the inn and wait for them and try and decipher it on your own, or?
I'll just stick with. I'll stick
Sorry.
with the group. Oh, sorry. What's
Go
up?
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll just see if everyone wants to stop for like 10 minutes while I do this ritual, and then I'll just read it as we're like walking along.
Okay.
It's a 10-minute ritual cast.
Yeah.
Well, ritual adds like 10 minutes onto its time, right?
10 minutes, that's gonna be, so that's 60, so that's gonna be 100. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's going to be, wait, what was your question?
I was just gonna say it's taking 10 minutes, right?
Right, yep.
Okay.
But this actually gives me an opportunity to do something. So,
Yo.
Oh no.
everybody roll me a D100.
Oh goodness. 32.
It doesn't necessarily have to be anything bad, just, we'll see.
66.
21.
Okay, let's get rid of that. Here we go. Let's get the nice music going here. Finn,
Mhm.
Trunk, and Zigbist and Tranquility. As you're kind of waiting for Zigbist to finish his ritual, even you, Zigbist, at this point, something is very strange. There's this, you guys feel it's not necessarily, I wouldn't describe it as a pull, but more like a curiosity with the golden oak in front of you. It's almost as though you've realized that you kind of feel like there's this presence close, and it looms large, just like the oak tree.
Does it feel malicious, or can we tell?
No, it actually feels warm.
Well, I'm still casting a ritual, so
So you'd get this weird kind of like, okay, well. You just feel nice. You feel cozy and protected and loved and warm.
Can I make a perception or arcana to figure out what it is? Or what if I might know what it is?
Go ahead. But I'm looking for a pretty high DC.
I mean, mine
May
is
I? Because, sorry.
dog.
Yep. That's fine. Anyone who's feeling this way can make the Arcana check as long as you are proficient with Arcana.
I will not roll then.
I am not.
Okay, the 10s. You felt stuff like this before. It's kind of like I said, it's a calming, protective feeling. Like you feel like you're being watched over in some way, like someone is guarding you, protecting you, keeping you safe. You felt this before. You just can't remember where.
Tree?
Tree. Anyways, by the way, those of you who did not feel this, don't feel bad because this matters. This is all going to matter, and it's going to matter with you too.
Okay.
I think
There will be
Tranquility.
moments. Go ahead.
I think Tranquility will take off a ribbon and just gently tie a little bow onto one of the tree branches, just as a sort of a little friendly tribute. Although
Aw.
she doesn't really know what's going on.
If you didn't already have an inspiration point, I would give you one. But you do, so I am sorry. I don't have a inspiration point bank either that you can put it in, so.
Let us have like 15. That's fine. You won't regret that at all.
Well, they had that stuff in
Pinatas.
3.5 called action points, which you could basically do that. But
Pinatas of inspiration.
So why'd they do that in Baldur's Gate? They had like you could have multiple inspiration points.
I think it's because there's like multiple PC characters. Or
also because Larian Studios took some liberties that are just not true in the game.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, sorcery points in Baldur's Gate 3 are a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, if you were a real sorcerer in Baldur's Gate, you would be the strongest person on the battlefield, hands down.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, they took their own liberties. Go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, I'm just wondering if it's been 10 minutes in game or.
Yeah, we'll say, sorry. We'll skip past all that. You guys have your little experience there. 10 minutes passes. Zigbist, your ritual completes. And
Okay.
you, the ritual is speak language, right?
Comprehend. So I just
Comprehend.
posted it for the duration. You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read one page of text. does not decode secret messages in a text or glyph, such as an arcane sigil, that isn't part of a written language.
Well, luckily for you, you are able to decode what this says fully. And as you're doing so, you're realizing that the script that you had previously tried to translate was off a bit. The word revolution was incorrect. Overcome is the real word. Only when the light overcomes the dark can a revolution occur.
Mm.
Hey guys,
Yes.
I think we're a little bit wrong in our initial translation of this.
How so?
We were one word off. The script says, only when the light overcomes the dark can a revolution occur.
Any more detail on the page, or that all information there?
That's it. It's just one line, one sentence.
I think Finn
So
is just
it's-
gonna take back
it
that
seems
letter
in
and
this
just hold it up.
It seems that this letter identifies something called the light and the dark and revolution. So, 3 things that it's alluding to.
Possible to tell if light and dark are proper nouns or concepts? Or too
My
difficult
thoughts
from-
exactly.
You see on the page that light and dark are capitalized, so they seem to be important.
Is anybody familiar with the Primordials culture? For all we know, the light and dark, it might not be light and dark as we see it.
Roll me a history check, everybody. You don't have to be proficient, you can just roll.
I know.
Apparently, Tranquility was not paying attention that day.
Wow.
Wow.
There's Zigbits, there we go.
Wow.
A nat 1 and a 2 with a -2, and then finally a 22.
And I'm just a complete dumbass.
Zigbist is the school nerd, so yeah.
So, Zigbis, you would understand in this particular concept, because it does occur from where you're from as well, that light and dark can potentially be considered entities themselves, like actual sentient beings that can fight back against the other in an eternal struggle. So
I'll
it's-
pass this information on to the crew.
It seems in some stroke of fate's brush that you all have kind of stumbled upon what appears to be a metaphorical struggle between the light and the dark.
Or literal.
Yeah. So earlier at the Church of Pelor, like, we pretty much got, like, the gist of who the light could potentially represent. But, like, would I have heard or seen an idea of what god might embody the dark in this world?
Roll me a history. This will be a completely separate one.
Everybody or just him?
Just him for this, yeah.
Okay.
You have seen in your travels here, since you've arrived here unexpectedly, that in the vast landscape of Elyssara, you have noticed these pockets of shadow, and that you've also noticed that things can come out of them. Things that you kind of have seen in your home, although they are twisted variations of them. So it seems the dark entities that are just there on the edge of reality waiting to, for that opportune moment. It seems it can take many forms, and you're not really sure the extent that goes. And that includes the light as well. You've seen people in your travels that are so compassionate and selfless and just a presence to be around that you can swear you feel the energy off of them too.
Okay.
Suppose we should head inside, say hello, set up room.
Indeed. Indeed. Who wants to go in first?
Would this be would this be a suitable time for Tranquility to head off, or should she hang around?
You can head off if you wish.
Okay, she'll scoot.
Okay.
Carry on.
Meet back up with you at the inn.
Okay. I think she was planning on meeting them at the
At the shop.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Good luck.
All right. So you walk off. We will actually say, for the sake of time, we'll go to Tranquility.
Well, we don't have to now.
No, that's all right.
Okay,
What do you wish to do?
Sorry, guys. She just wanted to go and check in with her family, make sure that everybody was relatively okay.
All right, well, you were told of this dockside courier company that actually is in the outquarters of Lysandrelis, so you'll have to go through some spaces that, well, your kind maybe not, maybe they don't go through those kind of spaces every once in a while.
Nah, she's seen some rough stuff since she left home.
Yeah.
She'll grit her teeth and charge ahead.
You go through the outquarters. Life here definitely seems more modest than back in the main portion of the city. But you wind through a couple alleys and you find your way over to a pier. And there's a small boardwalk attached to it. And there is this dinky little... It appears to be a dinghy sitting in the water next to the pier, tied up to one of the posts. And there's a sail, just a single sail, coming out from the center of it. And there's presumably what appears to be the symbol of the company itself stained onto the sail. And you look to your left, and there's this tiny little hut. Tiny. Like, we're talking, can't be 5 by 5 wide. And it's attached to the pier. And there's a single light on in the one window that is in the door.
Okay. Releasing her death clutch on her skirts, Tranquility had them kind of gathered around her knee to keep them out of the dirt of the road. Tranquility is going to knock on the door. She's going to assume that there's going to be very skinny gnomes inside to all fit in there.
Well, you kind of pass by this swinging sign that says Dockside Courier Company. Hand carved, it looks like, too. And you knock on the door and you just hear, "Come in, come in."
Okay, she will poke her head in.
And you open the door, and this is not a 5 by 5 wide room. You emerge into this vast, like we're talking couple football fields maybe, sized room. And inside, wall to wall, on the floor, covering nearly every single inch of space that you can see, are letters. Letters, 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 letters. And then there's also people sorting through them endlessly. They're tiny little gnomes sitting at desks. And there's this one peculiar looking halfling that's sitting at a podium that's not too far inside as soon as you go through the door. And you're just hearing this flipping of paper going all over the place, and appears these people probably deal with a lot of mail. And he says, come on, step up, come on, don't have a lot of time. Time is money.
I would like to reach my family back at home with a sending spell to find out how they fared during the eclipse. Tranquility says as quickly as possible while still being perfectly accented in a very posh way.
He holds his quill to the paper, this ledger that he's writing in, and he says, name?
Tranquility Ostracel of reaching the gold thistles.
Oh, Gold Thistle family. We actually get a lot of letters coming through here for you. Not you specifically, but for your family. And the message you would like to convey?
I would just like to ask how they fare.
That's it? Well, okay. A bit modest for a message, but that'll be... go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, she will telegramically, like, in as few words as possible, just check in on their safety.
Okay.
I'm sorry, how much gold?
He says, well, normally I like to charge customers at, they go the normal rate, which is 5 gold for the message, but, I don't know, you're a lady. I suppose I can give you a bit of a discount. 3 gold.
Okay. Tranquility will promptly count out the 3 gold and place them down. She doesn't really haggle much.
Oh, well. So, okay, how you fare? Got it. Okay. Please wait here, and I will provide confirmation shortly. And he gets up out of his seat, and you hear this little as he hits the ground. His big ass feet just... It seems he was sitting on a high chair, probably, supported by some books too. And you actually look over and you see that there's like a good stack. And he walks off around some letters, a stack of letters. You see a couple of gnomes kind of take a glance at you and then go back to what they're doing. It's not even really a glance, it's more like a side eye. And you wait for a few moments. And he comes back. Okay. Well, that is all set. We received word. Turns out everything is fine currently. Seems there was a bit of a squabble with some shadows from the long dark, yes. But it has been promptly dispatched, and of course you need not worry.
Thank you so much. Do be careful on your way outside. It is getting darker. And taking her own advice, she will give her farewells and zip back to rendezvous with the party.
It's at this point that you notice there's this soft glow kind of coming from underneath his vest and double shirt. Not double shirt, but long-sleeved button-down behind it. And he kind of takes his thumb and pulls out what is very clearly a small fragment of the luminolith. And then he points to a post behind him that has this certificate on it, it looks like. You look a little closer, and he says, well, I won't have to worry about that. I have a lisp.
Wonderful. Do be careful, sir, and she will biff off.
And it's at this point you're questioning as you turn away and walk out the door. What the fuck is a lisp?
I heard lisp, sorry.
No, he said lisp. And we'll get to that as soon as we get to the Golden Oak. But did anybody have any shopping they wanted to do beforehand, or are we going straight to the Golden Oak?
I'm open to whatever the group wants to do, but I figured that we just go in, say hi, explain that everything's being paid for,
right,
drop any
okay.
belongings, and then go shopping after.
Okay, well, then let's do this as Tranquility is off doing her thing. You guys pop inside, and immediately you're hit with this lovely smell of caramelized sugar and fresh baked bread. And there's also maybe a hint of some kind of wildflower behind it all. Inside the tavern, you notice that it's very busy. There's a lot of people in here. Almost all of the tables, except for like one or two, are occupied, and there's about 12 tables. The bar is fully occupied. There's some people standing up against the wall. There's some people standing near the stage that's inside. And it does appear that a bard, a lovely female elf bard, is getting ready to perform. And though it doesn't seem like people are in a bad mood, it is for a reason. So, as soon as you walk in, you notice that everything's lit up. I mean, there's a fireplace to your left. It's, the fire is gently licking the air, but it's nothing substantial in the way of providing light. But that's when you look up, and you notice that there is a single lantern suspended from the arched ceiling above. The lantern itself is gilded. It's this brightly shining and reflective gold. And harnessed in its center is a luminous shard. And it's providing enough light inside to not only banish the shadows, but provide warmth and comfort in a setting that desperately needs it right now.
Nice to see shards made it outside of High Spire Tower.
Embrin,
Drunk
a
is
man.
gonna say that quietly to the rest of the group. I'm not mouthing off.
So a man steps around from the bar. Embrin, you remember this man. It's Eli. You saw him before the attack and the festival. He comes over. He says, "Well, I certainly don't forget a face. I see you brought your friends with you."
I had a sentence I was gonna say, and I immediately lost it. Give me a second.
Well,
All right, I got it. Well, considering how good of an experience I had last time, I just had to bring everybody along with me.
and good on you for doing that. The name's Eli. Welcome. I am merely but a bartender at this fine establishment, but your gold and your company is welcome. He gives a little bit of a bow. He's a pretty nice, handsome-looking fella. Somewhat young, dark brown hair, sort of a rakish look to him. He's got a narrow chin, chiseled cheeks, and he simply does a little bow and he says, "Well, if you need anything, and especially drinks, just come on over to the bar. I'll be sure to cater to you first, as everyone else here has certainly had plenty." And he turns around and goes back over to the bar and he starts catering to everyone else who clearly want more. They're like, "Give me another fucking beer!"
I think as he's starting to walk away, I think Drunk will interject and just say, barkeep, excuse me, came from High Council, explained that they could pay our expenses for a room for the night for the group of us."
That's when you hear a soft voice coming from to your left. And you look to your left, and there is a gnome standing close to you. And he says, "Well, in that case, it seems that I have no choice but to accept your patronage." And you see that this gnome is also rather handsome looking for his particular stature and what he's wearing. He's wearing this really nice red and gold finery. The gold is kind of interlacing around the front of this overcoat that he's wearing. And there's a little bit of leather interworked into it, but you also see that now reflecting in the luminoless shard above, you can see that some of the gold on his finery is kind of reflecting back. And he reaches up a hand to you, Drunk, and he says, Chrysantheus. Most people just call me Chris. Owner, proprietor, Golden Oak, welcome. You say you're coming from the council.
Nice to meet you. Yes, coming from the council. Long story. Fought some shadows during Eclipse. What the fuck is his name?
Alarian Hardcastle.
Lord Warden escorted us to council, asked to become wardens. Council instructed us to come here for room and board.
He just goes, no, no need to explain any further. I mean, you are clearly special guests. Sorry to interrupt. I just have heard this story many times. Sorry. If you'll just follow me. And he walks away without saying anything else. If any of you are questioning that last part that he just said.
Yeah, I want to make an insight check on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That was most ominous.
What do you want? All of us running insight?
Yes, please. Why not? Let's do it. Let's see if anybody gets it. I mean, everyone has instincts, right? You know, you see someone talking to you, and all of a sudden they're like, and they say something weird, and you're like, okay.
You best not be lying to me, boy.
All right, I have everybody. So, go ahead.
Was Eli in earshot for that whole conversation?
Eli was over. He was definitely heading back towards the bar. He looked like he was distracted by a couple of patrons that wanted.
So he didn't
further
catch
service.
any of that.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Doesn't appear so. He saw the boss was there, so he went back to do his job, and in fact, rightfully so.
So this guy is actually the boss.
Oh yeah, he carries himself as the boss.
Well.
Yes.
Important distinction there. Okay.
He's small but big, if that makes sense. And he leads you through the center tavern area. It looks like the lovely bard is about getting ready to play. She's finishing her wine that looks like she's drinking. She has not only her armor doffed, she has set it aside behind her, next to her weapon and shield. It looks like she's a longsword carrying, possibly swashbuckling, beauty that's roaming the countryside, singing songs where she can to make money. And you go into this back room that's. You notice that it's also from the outside of the building itself. You can see this sort of outcropped building that's kind of away from the main center tavern, and it looks like you're going into that, and there's an office. And there's this small desk. It doesn't look correct to you because you're so tall, and he didn't want to sit on books, so he made a custom desk to not look like a fool. But maybe in turn has done so regardless. And he goes behind the desk, sits in the chair. It's this really high back chair. It's got this golden red designed fabric as the back, and very lovely dark wood carved as its borders. And he just kind of leans back into the chair and he says, So you were sent by the Luminar Council. Well, that's good. What's it, 5, 6 of you? 5. Yes, sorry. 5. Or is there more?
5 right now. A 6th will be joining us.
Right. We've been given word by the Luminar Council beforehand. I know they said to come and gain our services under the guise of, well, just mere patrons, correct? But really what we're here to do is to facilitate you and make sure that you are comfortable before you head off on your wild ride, your adventure. You know, this is something, like I said, that we've seen before. I'm sorry, I'm just going through the motions, if that makes sense.
So,
No, keep going.
This is our last taste of civilization before we're sent off into the wilderness type deal.
Well, you do kind of work for the council now. That means you're gonna be traveling a lot. And possibly being in great danger, and I can't say that for true certainty that you will be the last, nor are you the first people to come through my doors working for the Luminara Council and not coming back. So, sorry for the bad news.
Well, it's pessimistic. I'm sure we'll be fine. I'll be seeing your face again.
I would be lying to say that I hope to see you again, because I've said that before hundreds of times, and let me tell you, I have not seen any of them again.
Cheery.
What sorts of errands does council have people running?
Well, mainly it's the acquisitions of the shards. I mean, surely you've been to the High Spire. You just came from the High Spire, so you would have seen the collection that they have. Quite substantial, don't you think? That's
So
for a
council-
purpose, right?
So council outsources procurement of shards to others?
Yes. In many cases they are successful, but in many they are also not. It is a dangerous business acquiring these shards. And really, it's only for the daring to go and do it, and I suppose that's probably why they saw something in you. At least enough to give you wardenship over the city. I suspect that they haven't given you your lisp yet.
Lisp? Drunk
Yes.
speaks fine. Drunk does not have a lisp.
LSPP. Luminolith Shard Possession Permit.
Ah,
So that's what that.
do not have lisp.
Well, then it seems you are kind of in a quandary. At least, unless they've provided you with some other resource to at least get you on your way. I mean, they usually do. I don't think I've seen anyone come through my door that didn't have some sort of boon in their possession.
Told us to seek out Duskweaver. Got
Ah,
contact
yes.
information.
Yes, Miss Duskweaver is definitely the best in the business as far as the production of shard integrated clothing goes.
Figured we would seek her out after arranging for our rooms here.
Probably a good idea. I do have special accommodations for you and your friends, new comrade, whatever you people want to call yourselves. I don't really care. You're just really passers-by, in my opinion. You are kind of dust in the wind, if that makes sense. I don't mean to be too blunt, but that's just the way I am. I don't like to lie to people. I like to present the hard facts, the cold truths.
Fine with us.
Good. Well, do enjoy the drink. I believe we just got some exported wine from Luminethril Inn. I believe it is probably going to be some of the last good wine you will have in a long while, if that makes sense to you.
Yes.
And he's kind of like gesturing with a finger, and he's looking up, pointing up towards the ceiling, probably presuming that he's pointing towards the sky that's now darkening.
Sylvan's gonna get up and basically say, "Well, geez, it's been a day, hasn't it? Anyways, who wants drinks? My treat."
Well,
I think
after
drunk. Go ahead.
Count me in.
it is Well, customary for the Luminara Council, for the people that work for them, is the first rounds on the house, of course. So go ahead and get out there, get what you want. The most expensive, I don't care. Just afterwards, you will have to pay. And it seems like this ambitious, tenacious young lady is ready to do just that.
Indeed, I am.
So the first one's on the house, right? I would like a barrel of ale then.
That's not quite what I meant.
Nice try.
Is food covered by council?
Of course, yes, everything. Drink is just a bit more expensive.
Understood.
All right, next round of drinks.
How
is on me.
expensive?
Before we get into all that, I'm probably gonna head to the market right quick and just
Yeah.
get some provisions before we start really hunkering down for the night.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Can you, sir, point us to our rooms so that we know where they are, and then we'll be on our way?
Yes, of course. Just follow me. And he stands up. Again, weirdly, he's very low to the floor. Walks over to the door, leads out into the tavern. Follow me. And you do so. And you go sort of towards the back where the bar is. And again, I said, at least for Ember, and I mentioned that it was an L-shaped bar, sort of tucked into the corner of the main tavern. The fireplace is connected right to it on one side. So it just provides warmth for everybody, and it emanates out towards the center and towards the front door as well. So he leads you to this door that's just to the right of the bar. And everyone roll me... actually, what's everyone's passive perception?
11.
12.
11, 12.
Where do I see that?
I believe it
Your
is...
skill bar on the left hand
Yeah, I think it's your wisdom mod plus a 10.
Oh, it's 12.
It's
12.
8 plus your wisdom plus
8
your
plus
proficiency if you're proficient in perception.
Right, okay.
I am
Mine is
not
still a
proficient
10.
in Perception. My wisdom modifier is
It-
1.
It should auto calculate it
Yeah.
also on your sheet for you on Roll20.
Yeah, it should be on there somewhere near your stats.
It's under your skills.
Yep.
It says it as passive wisdom in
okay,
parentheses
got it. I
perception.
got it. Yep, it's an 11.
Okay. Well, there's something about this door that kind of seems off. First off, there's really no indication that this door leads anywhere, because judging by the size of the tavern when you were first outside, it looked like the main tavern encompassed most of what the building was made up of. So this door doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like it's going to lead anywhere. If anything, it's going to lead outside. But you get up behind Chris, and he opens the door with a key. A golden key that he fits into this seemingly mundane lock, but then you hear this sprightly sort of click, like a... And the door opens, and he leads you into what appears to be a long hallway. Very long. You can't even see the end of it. This does not make sense physically. It seems you have found yourselves in a infinite space, or a finite space inside another finite space.
Neat.
And yeah, Chris just kind of looks back at you. He says, I know what you're thinking. Just come on.
Chris, will we be able to access this area without that key?
Oh, of course, yes. Now that you're a guest here, and the fact that you've stepped through that threshold means you are considered a guest by this very structure itself. You see, it's magical. My own doing.
Understood. Very impressive.
Is that the feeling that I felt earlier, like someone was watching us?
No. well, that. He goes silent for a moment. And he brings you to a door that's actually not too far down the hall. You're walking for maybe like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And he turns to his left, and there's this beautiful oaken door with a gold handle. And the frame around it has sort of feathered carved designs of trees and sprightly bushes and flowers blooming up from the base near the floor. And he says, well, welcome to your lodgings for now. And that's when he puts his key in the door, opens it for you. Let me just quickly, before you get into this. Tranquility, I would imagine. Wait, who else needed to do anything? Anybody?
I figured we were all gonna go to the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was what we agreed. We were all going to end up there.
Take a trip to the market, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll do this. He opens the door, and you emerge into a room unlike any you've ever seen before. You notice that not only is there a luminolith shard, a small one, floating in a similar lantern to the one down, or in the tavern. It's suspended high above, but there's this planter, a tall planter, in the center of the room that has a similar-looking tree to the one outside planted in it. And there's some grass and some flowers and small brush and bushes, and it's all kind of grown and has been cultivated expertly. And it's being fed by this luminous shard above. And around the walls, you see that there's multiple bunks. And they're built into the walls. There's 2 on each wall. So for a total of 6. The actual entry wall is just the door with some dressers, a couple mirrors. You have all the accommodations. There's a partition where you can take a bath if you need to. You walk inside, he shows you the partition actually kind of leads to a little bit larger of a finite space that was not there before you entered in. And he says, for your comfort, we have hot water on demand. We have, we can, of course, get food for you at any time of the night, drinks. We have this lovely fresh air coming in from the flora at your right here. And these bunks, 6 in total, should be enough. This is a clean area, so I would like it to remain clean. And that means no blood, no chemicals, no sorts of alchemical experimentation, no fire. He looks over at Emberin.
It seems racist.
And
That's because it is.
he just says, this is where you will be staying for tonight. And, well, I think that's really all you really need to know. Other than that, enjoy the drinks. I need to get back to work. Paperwork is just piling in at this point. I have other dealings, not just this place.
Understandable. In that case, you have a great day, and I'll probably head out myself.
Thank you, and you as well.
Drunk, walk with me.
He leaves.
Suppose whole group should meet up with Tranquility at store?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or were you trying to pull Drunk aside?
I was gonna pull you aside. I wanted to ask about the eyes.
Alright. Drunk will follow Finn I guess before he does that, Drunk will say, suggest we group up in 5 minutes or so and go to shop to meet up with Tranquility. And then I guess after that, I'm Drunk is just gonna go follow Finn.
Probably just gonna go to like a farther side of the room to where people can't easily hear us,
Mm-hmm.
unless they really wanted to sneak up. And I'm gonna say, so I can't help but notice I made eye contact with the back of your head at one point during that fight. And I just wanted to ask about that.
Drunk is just gonna extreme head tilt. Don't understand. Eyes are in front of Drunk? How? What does Hairy Man mean?
Oh.
Roll deception, Drunk.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go great. Let's see.
I made eye contact with them. You're not gonna gaslight me into being like, no.
15.
Roll fucking insight.
Oh no,
There.
my insight is dog water. Okay, hold on.
Hairy
Where's
Man.
my insight? Come on, give me a 17 or something. Yes!
Oh shit!
All right, so Drunk is very clearly lying. I mean, you've only known him for so long, but his tone is shifted. His body language is now of a bit of a defensive stance versus open.
Okay, so I think initially Drunk is gonna kind of like play very innocent, and you can see he's sort of like adopting the normal, like sort of slightly like hunkered posture, like kind of like a very submissive, like maybe like a little bit of like mild sort of like hand washing motion. Not like cartoonishly over exaggerated, but just kind of like a little like, don't think Hairy Man must have just been confused. Heat of fight, very, very stressful time. Maybe Hairy Man tired. What is Hairy Man's name?
My name is Finn.
Finn, good, nice. Hello, Finn. Finn, I am Drunk.
Nice to meet you, Drunk. It's clear to me you don't want to talk about that. Now, I won't push further into it. It's clear you don't want to talk about it. But we're not gonna pretend like I didn't see that.
So I think with that, Drunk is gonna do like a slight head tilt, and then like his entire body language is just gonna shift like just 180. He straightens all the way up, and like maybe imperceptibly like grows an inch or so, and his eyes get really hard and kind of leans in towards Finn.
Oh my god.
So
Can you imagine Drunk having doe eyes? That's creepy. I'm thinking about it now.
Did see eyes. Hairy Man did see eyes. Okay.
For those of you who haven't seen the 3.5 edition D&D version of a gibbering mouther, look it up. It's horrifying.
Oh, hold on.
Need Hairy Man to understand. Drunk doing its best. Drunk can't have others know what Drunk is. Drunk would be feared, hated, maybe killed. Drunk doing its best. Please keep this quiet.
I
Don't
understand.
want to have to fight about it.
No, that's fair. I understand. As a bugbear in a city of not bugbears, I get it.
Sylvan, you're taking in the sight of the room. It's like clearly one of the nicest rooms you've ever been in. I mean, as someone of your status. Correct. So now you're just amidst this room that feels. I don't know. You're just kind of. What are you feeling here?
It's definitely a sense of wonder, like, because I'm normally hanging out in, like, back alleys, basically, where nobody can find me. So this is definitely something new for me, and I guess I'm more amazed and in awe of everything at this point.
And what do you do? I mean, are you sticking around with them?
I would like to go shopping.
Okay. Anything else Drunk and Finn would like to say?
Nope. I think we're good with that for now.
Okay. we'll say that you guys see Sylvan walk off, and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna follow her."
Yeah.
And
Suppose we should follow group.
you do so. You walk back out down the long hall and through the door. You feel like this weird, almost like I guess a pulsation or this energetic effect as you touch the door handle. It's probably that magical effect that Chris was talking about. Like you are now technically a patron of the Golden Oak, and therefore special. Or, at least, according to the Luminar Council in some way. So you walk back out. Tranquility, you are now walking sort of through Bright Market. And you see the others all kind of grouped up, walking away from the Golden Oak. You kind of were heading back sort of that way to meet them, and that's where you guys kind of grouped up. Is just outside the area of the Golden Oak.
Okay. Tranquility will greet
Gothly.
them with a kind of an elegant trailing wave of her arm, dragging her sleeve gracefully in a very attention-getting kind of way. She's not going to actually point to where she's going, but she is going to indicate which way. Just in case you guys don't know where you're going. I think she does. Wait, didn't we run past this?
I think so.
Right,
Okay.
Run run
The race.
past the location.
Yeah, I think we took this route.
Yep.
So we've at least seen it in a blur as Zigbis shot past it.
Yep. All right, so you guys go shopping.
I'm gonna
Yay.
stay and investigate this weird tree because I can't afford nothing. I have 3 coins in my
Wait.
pocket.
But we were told that we would be provisioned.
Yeah, you might as well come with. I guess I'll pretend that Drunk is saying that and not me. Might as well
Yes.
come with. Could be
When-
that council provision.
Yeah, when you were there, you did remember them saying something along the lines of preparing you for your adventure.
They're paying for it. What's the point of going?
I
So you
may
can
have
get
said-
it.
I may have said that I wanted to go shopping, but that could mean different things too.
Gear and
Um,
equipment will be important for what comes next, I'm sure. Should come with Fireman.
That tree that's ominously glowing. Just figure you out later.
Roll me a D100, Embrin.
The tree smacks me on the way out.
It's the Whomping Willow! Ah!
Another 70. But a 79 now.
2 moments.
I'm gonna fight the tree.
Okay.
I hit the branch as I walk past it.
You
Too tall.
are kind of standing looking at the... What the fuck? There we go. No.
I am wondering that too.
I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to be cool. No, I'll do this. You're standing staring at the tree, and you can't help but feel, again, there's this presence that clings to you. You can hear a deep voice whispering in your ear. He says, "Stare at it all you like. The light will not save you. Don't be foolish. Walk in the dark. The dark is all that you know."
Very, very abruptly in the middle of the front of the Golden Oak. Just no context. Oh, in the name of the 9 hells, will you shut the hell up for 5 minutes?
And that's
Looks
when
around. Oh,
you're
I said
jerked
that out
back
loud.
into this. Yeah, you notice that the light kind of comes back a little bit, and the dark isn't so profound. And you guys hear Emberin just shout that.
Excuse me?
I rolled a 14 on insight.
Roll me,
Damn it!
I guess a deception to try
Already
and play
did.
it off. Yeah.
Beat me by 1.
I beat him by 1.
All right. How do you play this off?
Why fireman yelling? Fireman asked who to shut up.
I actually have to think
Fireman.
about how I'm playing this off.
His sore, aching feet.
How do I play this off? Damn.
Well, whatever you say,
I
it
got
works.
this.
I mean, you could say bibbity bobbity
Just be a
boop,
jerk.
and then that's it.
Just talking to myself. I'm not a very much a social person. Getting used to the whole traveling with people thing.
I think Drunk probably nodding vigorously to that. Understand, Drunk also not social. Understood.
I mean, yeah, you totally buy it.
Yeah.
Internal wipe sweat from brow. Like, oh,
Close one.
they almost found out.
So, leaving. You guys go shopping.
Yay.
What are we shopping for?
So
Choose.
glad everyone trusts Emberin in this party.
Are we going to the place, the tailor?
Yeah.
Let's head that way.
Okay. Well, let's get some ambience going here.
Buddy wants to play.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Oop.
Yeah, don't play All Star by Smash Mouth. That's-
Hey now. Yeah.
You're no star.
All right, let's just go with
Maybe
some.
some Creed.
Let's get some people around. Let's get a little. All right, so walking through the narrow stretches of tent adorned paths. You know, all these different colored tents, different stripes. They're all pretty attractive in their own way. Everyone's brandishing what they have to sell. And most of it is a lot of junk. And in fact, seems most of the situation here, you're noticing, is desperate. They are pushing their product far more than they ever would. And you've been through here, Bright Market, a couple times. No one's ever been like, hey, buy this, and they get like run up to you. It's that sort of situation.
Hmm.
So you're being approached by a lot of people trying to sell things and make a lot of money. Or at least make any money.
I kind of
And-
like
Go ahead.
stand to my full 7'4" to try to like intimidate these people from not getting as close just because I don't want to get stopped every few minutes.
Right. So as you continue, you make your way up through Bright Market and out onto the main street that runs along the perimeter of it. And you see a shop. And hanging above the front door, which is another double door. It's a small one, but the door itself is blue. And there are these carved stars all adorned all over the doors. And painted sort of an inlay inside the stars is a gold. So it's gold stars against a sort of light blue background to simulate the sky. And a sign above the door swings in the wind, and it says, Aurora's Atelier.
Is there like a door? Should we knock?
There is, yeah. It's this double
Okay.
door, blue with stars. Or you can just go in. I mean,
I
there's
guess it is just a shop.
yeah. So
Let's go
you
in.
head on inside, and
Sad lady take the lead?
Sad
Sad
lady.
lady will sweep ahead with a faint nod. Oh, please, call me. And then she hesitates just a moment before allowing him to use her actual name. Call me Tranquility.
Sad lady.
Uh,
Tranquility. Sad lady.
You step inside to a narrow shop, actually. To your left and right, there's a few small cubbies where she has stored her products, some of which are all currently glowing radiantly, seemingly with power from these shards. And there's a woman sitting at a sewing table at the far back, way past all of these different rolls of fabric that have been stacked onto shelves that go high above you. And there is a single candle, somewhat brilliantly lit because it is a luminous shard suspended sort of like a candelabra. And it's behind her, above her head, and she is working at this sewing table. And that's the only bit of light right now in this room. But the amount of light coming from her garments that she's shown is completely eliminating any shadow or darkness that might have been in here. And probably would have been in here, judging by the sheer shape of the thing.
Good evening.
You hear a soft voice in the back. She says, "Come closer. I'm about to finish up."
I'm not sure it is truly evening yet. Tranquility is kind of thinking out loud. I'm afraid I've lost track of time with the dreadful eclipse outside. And she's kind of hesitating, just making sure it's okay for her to keep talking.
She appears calm and resolute in her what she's doing. It looks like she's sewing up the final bits of a dress.
I don't know if you're expecting us. We have been sent here by the council.
She threads and loops and ties one last bit of the wrist portion of the dress, and she reaches down and grabs the cloth, brings it up to her mouth, and she bites the thread apart. You can see there's a little bit of a break, like a mystical light has kind of... It's almost like a spark, a little bit of a spark as she severs the cord from the dress. And that's when the dress illuminates.
Oh, how beautiful.
It's the power of the luminolith. You can thank that. And she puts her needle down in a special box next to her. She closes the lid. She ties her hair back, stands up, and she walks all properly over to you. She says, "I am Aurora. Welcome to my shop. All of you. And yes, in answer to your question, you were expected."
Okay. Tranquility was starting to pull out the paper that she was given, but she puts it away so she doesn't have to explain any further. Glances back to introduce her companions, realizes she still does not know their names, and gives up on it.
She says, "I think I already have all of your sizes, judging by the looks of you. You over there," and she looks over at you, Drunk, "you look a little bit, maybe disproportionate in some areas, maybe a little difficult, but not unworkable."
Drunk is perfectly proportionate. Drunk, normal size, shape.
"And you," and she points to Finn, who's standing pretty tall and, broad, and he's just like, "That you're gonna take a lot of cloth."
Absolute unit of a
yes.
bugbear.
And like you can tell that or maybe she might be able to tell that the suit is tailored in a way to like kind of minimize his muscle to make him less threatening. But like
So-
once he takes his jacket off, he's built as shit.
So she says, but don't you worry. It has all been paid for already. And, if you don't mind, she points to Finn, if you would come a little bit closer, you're a bit disproportionate from what I normally work with, so if you would allow me to take some measurements.
Completely understandable. And I just pull off my jacket.
She takes it from you. She's like, "Oh my, heavy." And she uses her hand, and you see she waves it in the air, and it looks like a hanger, a rather large one, comes down from the wall high above you, and it just kind of mage hands right into her grasp. And then she kind of does the same thing and brings it up to this lovely section up above your head that just it's got somewhat larger coats, not necessarily your size, but yours is definitely the largest amongst this. And she says, "There, safekeeping for now."
Thank you.
You see her reach behind her waist, and she pulls out this glowing tape, a roll of tape. And she says, "Hold still, please. Outstretch your arms all the way left and right, parallel with your shoulders."
Sure. And you just kind of see Finn tear up a little bit because this reminds him of home.
Oh, man. I forgot about that.
And he just lowers his hat a little bit and does what she says.
She smiles at you as you see her go around your chest, and she grabs both ends and measures. That's actually a bit close to what I was suspecting. Now your waist. Wraps around your waist, checks that, okay. And leg length, arm length.
The arm length is what's going to be interesting because I have long arms to the point that I get like a +5 reach or 5 feet reach.
Yeah. And she says, "All right, I think I have everything. I was told that you are leaving tomorrow, yes?"
That is correct.
Well, I believe I might already have clothing in everyone else's sizes, but yours... sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, my name is Fimblebach.
Well, yours will be ready by tomorrow, and should the measurements are actually more easy to work with than you would imagine. But the dimensions, they are odd, but workable, like I said. You should all expect your garments tomorrow, and some of you can take them now, but I would unfortunately be added for a while as I have to get them down. I think I have the right ones in mind for all of you.
I'd not inconvenience you, especially if we already have to come back tomorrow anyways.
And this clothing can be worn underneath your armor. It will provide the same effect. Just know that, well, out of character, she's going to say that it only works every so often, especially when it comes to large expanses of the long dark.
I'm just happy that I'm able to wear this underneath my armor because I feel like this would give me a really bad stealth.
Correct, yes. So it is only for traversing the long dark, which, out of character, you will be doing at some point.
I'm gonna ask her how much it would be for just a little, like a couple pocket squares made out of that stuff that I'm willing to pay for myself.
Pocket squares of the light stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, she says, no charge.
Oh, thank you. I very much appreciate that.
Consider it a present from someone who firmly believes that the light will never fade so long as people like me and you exist.
I kind of just nod. And I would just tell her, I think my mother would have liked this place. She,
Really? She was into clothing and fashion and...
yes, she made my suit actually.
Oh my. Well, if she were here, I would say a fine job.
Thank you. I will make sure to say that to her the next time I see her.
She looks at you, kind of narrows her gaze. She knows. Like she can tell, she can see it in your face that as soon as she mentions your mother, like the subtle shift in your micro expressions, you know, the little bit of upturning or downturn of the mouth and closing of the eyes, looking certain directions down, you know, she knows. She can tell.
Yeah.
And she says, I hope you do.
I appreciate the help, ma'am. You have a great day.
You as well. Everything will be ready by tomorrow. Just please come by on your way out.
Perfect. And I guess that's it here. I did want to buy some like actual food if we're going to be traveling, because I know
Right.
we're probably going to need like actual provisions.
We can say that provisions, those aren't going to matter anything at all. So you can just simply find those along shops, basically, yeah, anywhere. So we can. How many rations do you want to get? It's they'd usually charge by the day.
I guess just 2 weeks worth, just to be safe.
Okay.
I don't know how long this trip's going to be.
Roll me a D100 just to check something.
Okay.
Only because circumstances in the city have changed now. People might be more
Yeah.
desperate. They might want to charge more.
How do the provisions work? Does that for the party or the individual?
So, technically, by what the book says, it's per individual. But
I have an abundance of gold. I don't mind buying it for people.
if anyone can hunt,
Money's not a
or
problem.
yeah, if anyone can hunt, you'll be fine. If you have a good survival skill, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna purchase some food too. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll say that you all kind of go to the same place. Let's see here. That was your D100 there, Finn?
Yes.
Okay, 46. Alright, so amidst all of the kind of semi-chaos still going on, people are running around. Some people are even like abandoning shop. Like some have completely emptied. And they're moving into other places that might provide more protection. And there are still a few. You guys can get some provisions. You are able to find exactly what you need, but it seems they're upcharging a little bit. So we're gonna go with. You said you wanted 2 weeks.
It looks like I have 12, so I'm just gonna buy like 3 more. I didn't realize I had that many already. I guess it came in my stuff.
He's gonna charge you a gold.
Okay, that's fine.
And Sylvan, you wanted how much?
I think 2 weeks is safe as well. I think that we can kind of cover the whole party with.
How much gold do you have?
Why does that matter? It's only one.
How much gold do you have? I just want to make sure I'm not
I have
gonna.
77.
Okay, all right. So his 3 days were gold. So we're gonna go ahead and say that yours is gonna be. They'll say 5.
5 for what? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
And by the way, by book standards, I think that's expensive.
I think so as well, probably.
That's all right. So that was 5 gold for 2 weeks of provisions.
Yep. So 14 days rations.
I'll get in on that too.
Okay. Same price.
Do we just put that in the items after?
In your items, yes. Or if you have a party loot section or whatever, if you want to pool things, it's up to you. But again, hunting does apply. Survival skills. And anything else you guys need?
I'm gonna turn to Drunk and Tranquility, and I'm just gonna ask, do y'all have enough supplies for the road?
Tranquility is going to check absently, realize she does not, and look around for somewhere else, I think. She is
What do
looking
you
for a
require?
specific. She's looking for more elven cuisine.
Okay. So herbs and greens and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. There is one vendor left that has some product, and it looks like they're about to run out because it seems everybody had the same idea you did.
Okay. Do I need to roll?
Yes. Go ahead and roll me a D100 just to see how much they
98.
have.
Holy shit.
98.
Looks like you've been able to nab the last couple weeks.
Okay. How much is it?
For this, it's going to be 10.
Ooh, okay. I will mark that off my character sheet and add 2 weeks worth of elven rations.
Correct. Or just
Okay.
rations, whatever.
Elven, please. What am I, a peasant?
Is there anywhere Drunk can buy just some, like, lengths of iron chain?
What?
Yes, you can go to the armory or the blacksmith there.
Cool. I think as Tranquility is walking off towards the elven shop after Finn approached the two of us, Drunk is gonna look at Finn and go, "Food sensitive topic for Drunk. Need to speak to Finn later about this. Come with me. Need to buy chains. Important that we discuss later."
Okay.
So I'll head over and drag him with me. And should I just roll a D100 for prices? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, pretty much, because things are starting to get out of control.
A 10. Great. It's going to be super expensive. I basically need enough to tie up a person pretty seriously.
You just want rope?
No, I need chain, not rope. I have rope. I need metal chain.
All right. Well, it seems he's willing to sell you a length of chain. Rather, go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, motherfucker.
Oh, can I give the help action?
Yeah,
You can.
help action. Yeah. I'll roll again. Even worse.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do you want to just talk to him for me?
My charisma is dog water bad.
He
Yeah,
says,
I
well,
mean,
it's
yeah.
my last one.
How much need for it?
I was gonna use it, but how much you got?
How much do you
3
want
gold.
for it? I think Drunk is gonna start like
He just
again
says,
like rising up a little bit and sort of leaning in and just sort of invading his space a little bit. I don't know if you'll let me use this, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll intimidation too. Feel free to ignore.
ooh. Well, I'm gonna counter that intimidation with his own. If he can beat it, that is.
Oof.
He's a blacksmith.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
He stops hammering. He looks over to you. He says, look, I don't much take too kindly to you causing a disruption in my shop. Now, if you want the fucking chain, just pay the 20 gold and get out. I have some work to do.
We'll find chain elsewhere. 20 gold. Bad joke.
Honestly, that's more than a battle axe, I think.
Yeah. So Drunk will just walk away, and I think as we're walking away, I'll lean over to Finn and say, important to discuss with you later. We'll need something heavy like chain to restrain someone.
Okay. This does sound like a discussion.
Does anyone have anything else they need to do before they go back to the Golden Oak?
I'm gonna do one last thing. It's gonna be quick. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go buy some flowers and just leave them on the grave of my parents, and then go back to the inn.
Oh,
However much flowers would be at this point.
1,000 gold. No, I'm just kidding.
My life saving.
They might be the last flowers that there are, so I mean, it sort of makes sense.
There's
No,
probably lots of decoration flowers abandoned around the place now.
For real.
Oh my God! Please, this is.
Lore flowers for my
There was a
parents.
festival going on.
Yeah. No, it's like almost sad to do that.
Those flower stalls probably about to make a lot of money with how many dead people there are.
Making a bouquet of dead people flowers.
All right.
Oof.
Well, okay, you do so, and as you lay the flowers on the area where you've laid your parents to rest, you can't help but feel stricken inwardly. You feel like somehow maybe this wasn't your fault, but also maybe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of start to turn inward your thoughts. And as you're mourning, you see around you that some of the shadows have begun to lengthen.
Love that.
Hey.
I'm just gonna be on alert very quickly, just getting out my axe just in case.
Is he by himself back by his parents' house?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I would have told anyone I was going.
Okay, and then I guess the rest of us went back to the inn, or?
Yes.
Okay.
At least for now.
Okay.
So as soon as you notice this, you look around you and everything just appears normal. Maybe it was a fleeting vision or a peripheral sense of some kind that kind of alerted you to something that wasn't there. Kind of like that feeling that sometimes you're looking out of the corner of your eye at something and something's just standing there, and then you look and it's not there.
With that, I'm gonna go ahead and make my way towards the Golden Oak Inn. There's no need to tempt fate.
Okay. Well, you all get back. And it appears that the bard that was setting up beforehand has begun her song, or at least a new one. And everyone's paying attention. Everyone has a drink in their hands. There's no fighting. There's no anger. And there's really no noise other than her right now. And as you listen to the words, it seems she's talking about something unavoidable, but something also that must be stood against. It's also calling for help. And you are soothed, but also reminded of what's going on outside, above your heads, high above Elyssara. And that's where we're going to call it.
All right, we're gonna get our Power Ranger suit next time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to see the world.
What do we call our
There.
ranger team?
I think we need to
Yes.
actually introduce ourselves to each other before we even get to coming up with a group name.
That's so true.
You'll never get my name.
We know
It's
Shrunk
been a
and we
long-
know Finn.
Mhm.
It's been a long day. Okay.
Fireman.
It
It
is
would
pretty
happen.
wild to think of this being like this span of what, like probably less than 6 hours. Like it was basically noon at the time of the foot race, so everybody ran a race, got in a lethal combat where a whole bunch of people died, got trotted back and forth through an angry mob, like
Contracted by the
long
High
fucking
Council,
day. Yeah, oof.
and the
Long
only name
day.
I'm known by is Fireman.
Yeah.
Well,
fireman.
imagine just getting to the end. It's like, I still don't know your names.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
We're all level
Yeah.
20. We've killed several gods. We're like, what the fuck is your name again?
Don't worry about it.
Several gods. We are the new gods.
Yeah.
Name not important. I am Fireman. All you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not
I'm
even
with
fire? It's lava.
But yes, it is weird to see how time progresses in games such as this, especially when you're not actually holding a controller in your hand and watching things progress as you want them to.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like, oh, all of a sudden now it's this time. And you're like, oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody. GG.
Goodbye. See
Good
everyone
night.
next
Thanks
week.
for the game.
Yeah.
GG.
In terms if you want to talk about how funny timeline is in D&D,
Uh-huh.
in Fragments, next week is the 3-year anniversary.
So are we gonna play or are we gonna be dicking
It's
around?
It's a Tuesday.
Well,